Altair to be a hero from the start. Obviously, the context for Altair is that he's part of the clan of assassins. We kind of twisted history a bit, though, and turned them into our own sort of take on a modern group of thinkers. By the end of the game, as you find out more stuff, there's a bit of a twist, and you have a new realization about what you're doing and a new take on why it is. So I don't want to spoil it for everyone, but there is quite a bit of death. You're not a gun for hire. You're not kind of just ruthlessly killing random people. So yeah, there is a whole side that we're not talking about, and the art direction and everything else is linked to that. But even within the setting of the Third Crusade, we mixed a lot of modern elements and modern ideas, so that even though Altair is an assassin from the year 1191, the way he moves, his free running abilities, they're based on, modern sports and like things that are going on today. There are different moves available and different styles available depending on which weapon you have. And a lot of the fighting style is based on counters. It's based on waiting for an opportunity when the enemy is going to attack and using that opening to get a counter. If I wanted to do something in a fight, like grab a guy and throw him, I would use my free hands if the guy is near me, and then, the thumbstick to pitch him where I want him to go. So there's quite a bit of control in those kinds of things. And the camera actually is smart. It has AI built into it, and it detects when one of those things is happening, and it does a cool framing shot so that you feel like it's getting in close, and it's kind of like a little mini reward while you're playing for, like, I just did something cool. It lets you see it in a good way. You've either assassinated someone or gotten into a fight or done something disrupted or are detected towards the end of the game, and a chase ensues. There's a whole lot of gameplay and AI and work that we've put into that, which is, you intelligently picking out your path. You're trying to get away from the people who are pursuing you. You can say, okay, I'm a little bit faster. I'll dodge down this corner because I see guys coming in back. I know how to climb walls. Those guys don't. I'm going to take this fast path up there. What you're trying to do as a gamer is break the line of sight, so get to a point where they don't know exactly where you are. They're just walking in that distance, and take advantage of that moment to hide. And one of the easy ways to do that, or one of the ways that you can really do it in a glorious way, is if you see a high point, you can climb up and you know they can't follow you there, and then once you do that dive, you land into like a bale of hay, and then they have no clue what happened to you or if you're still alive or whatever. They think you disappeared into thin air. Well, it depends which kind of mission. I assume you're talking about a main assassination mission, but a main assassination mission goes in several phases. So first, your approach. You can only start an assassination if you've found all of the information on the guy you're trying to kill. So there's first an investigation phase. Once you have all of that info, you go back to the bureau leader. There's a bureau leader, an assassin bureau in each city. And you tell him the info you have, and he says, fine, you're ready. He gives you a feather. That's like the sign that you're ready to start your mission. Then you go to the place where he's supposed to be, you track him down, you get in, you infiltrate, however, you can go in full force or whatever. You complete your assassination. Then there's a whole phase of escape. Blend in somewhere, let people cool down. Then the military goes into a bit of a more of a suspicious state. They don't know exactly where you are, but they're looking for you. So once you've blended, you have to be a bit more careful, and in that blended state, get back to the bureau leader, and you give him the feather then to prove that you killed the guy, and that's when you've completed the mission. In terms of the people, you're going to see a variety in the crowd depending on which city you're in. So we've actually created completely different sets of crowd based on the actual population makeup historically at that time. As far as gameplay, there are certain ingredients, types of people in the crowd that you'll learn to recognize that sometimes get in your way and some help you. So you have to learn to recognize these. Some of them are incredibly obvious. They're beggars, they're drunks. There are also some crazy guys. You don't want to go too near a drunk guy who's stumbling down, because he's going to push you, and that's going to make you fall, and that's going to make you lose time, or it's going to attract attention to yourself when you're trying to get somewhere. So there are all kinds of level design ingredients like that in the crowd. I guess I think having more, there are more and more women in the industry, but it's still rare. So it's true that it does stand out, and I get a lot of questions about it and stuff. I mean, I've only really been me, so I can't measure the difference of what it would be like if I was someone else, or you know, a guy in the industry or whatever. But I think that if it encourages more girls in general to like get into the game industry because they see like me talking and doing these interviews, then that's cool. um, well, I think that it's a little bit weird, to tell you the truth, because when you're making a game, there's 150 people, for example, working on Assassin's Creed, and why am I the one doing the interviews? Well, I'm the producer, you know. I can speak English all right, I guess, and you know, so I end up doing a lot of the interviews, but there's not really any reason, because everyone has an important role to play, and I'm doing, you know, part of the more visible stuff. So I guess I find it a little bit weird, you know, and like I think if it were up to me, you know, each time you were going to have an interview with someone, it would be someone different on the team. But I guess that's not really the way things work, so.